Hello everyone. So, session 2 of Arc 3. How's everyone feeling?
Fine. There's no
Decent.
anxiety at all. It's great.
Okay. So, while the ill-fated assault is happening, Nyaxi,
Yeah,
let's make another roll for Walda and see if she manages to find something that's a little less deadly.
hopefully.
So that was aura scanning, which was an empathy roll at 8. Okay. So, she frequents many of the same spots. She actually stops and chats with a pair of people. And, well, then we're gonna see if Volta can be... Well, this one she's gonna succeed at, I'm pretty sure, because this is a charisma expression roll.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah, you see her chat for like 10-15 minutes, and you see them slowly slowly relax, and you know, they were originally tense when they realized she was a vampire, and eventually, you know, she taps the cane 3 times. This is inside a bar. You're watching through one of the windows right now. So,
Okay, I mean, that's fine.
so you are free to make your way inside.
Yep, then I will
Now,
get there.
if you are make sure that you keep track of your blood. This is a second night, and you have shapeshifted twice. But towards the end of the first night, after you met the spider, I mean, they don't. If you kind of run into a changeling, they do party till morning light, but they usually move it to the freehold at about 2 or 3. So you have the second night, half of the night usually free, and Wald also has other things to do. So you can just make a quick hunting roll for me, or otherwise like roll 1d5 to see if you caught anything on the way.
1d5, okay.
If you prefer. If you hunt, you get... Okay, yeah, you had a light snack to tide you over. So you walk in, and do you have positives or negatives with changelings? I think you had something with them.
Yeah, I had positives with though.
1 or more than that?
1, yeah.
Okay. Then let's move you to the bar. And, well, here we should do it. Where did I put Fae? Fae are here. So, do it this way. Give me a 1d4. It's gonna be 1 named character and 1 rando. Okay, 3. Which one is this? Oh! It's this bitch.
Oh.
So you have a rather distinctive appearance. Are you carrying your spear?
I mean, if it's not illegal, why not?
You haven't been out of the park much, so the cops haven't tried to stop you too often.
I mean, it's America, right? They can carry guns. What's wrong with the spear?
Yeah,
You'd
what's
be
wrong?
surprised.
Large cold weapons can be usually, in fact, fall under different laws.
I mean, they stop people with swords, so...
Which state are we in again?
Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that in Texas recently they re-allowed swords.
Stand your ground. To the abyss with thee.
You know, all that comes up if I Google are like spear hunting laws.
Okay. I mean, it could be considered to be similar to a boar spear, so in theory... Sir, do you have a permit for that? You see her just give you a look like, who the fuck is this asshole? Look at Waldo and then just do a double take at you, eyes widening slightly.
Yeah, I really have a distinct appearance, don't I?
Yeah, no, you're recognizable. She's gonna just give you like a very shallow half bow that's sort of like, not sure, but just in case.
I greet her with like a nod.
So you're the friend Walda had mentioned. You wanted to
Indeed.
speak with us.
Well, yes, I have been asked to speak with you on behalf of the city.
Mm-hmm. Well, Walda's just they're like, well, if you're gonna be okay, I can wait outside. Green just nods. I have a feeling this might be best handled in private.
Very well.
And she is gonna lead you to the darkest corner of this establishment. So, what does the city want of us?
What was it again? I think contact broke, right? After,
Contact
you
broke,
know,
yes, and worries about them joining on the side of enemies. Essentially, you have to keep diplomatic channels open if you can, keep them from joining the enemy if you can at all, and preferably get them to enter the war on your side. You know, standard crap, really.
yeah, well, I was told that diplomatic contacts broke after the fact, and the prince just wanted to.
She leans forward. We
See
weren't
about having it.
aware that contact broke.
Are you unaware yet?
I was wondering why you weren't pursuing the usual channels.
What was the usual channel? Was it like Vivian?
It was Vivian, and she had a silver path trod that burns vampires with humanity below 7 to a meeting place in the dreaming. She had a special place that was secure for meeting, you know, away from the freehold.
But yeah, I better check the news then. Sadly, the dear Vivian has fallen victim to a werewolf attack in recent nights.
Well, that is unfortunate. She offered a lot of guarantees as for why we should remain on good terms.
But the city, of course, is still interested in remaining on good terms.
You can make me a perception empathy roll as to her reaction to the news that Vivian is kaput.
Sure.
She you can tell that she has gone into, okay, buddies, let's do some politicking. She kind of might see this as an opportunity to rearrange the relationship more to their liking a bit.
And yeah, that's mainly the reason why the usual channels couldn't be pursued.
No, well, of course, in war these things do happen. We're just gonna have to
Indeed.
adapt, obviously. You know, you have a strange appearance. You wouldn't be named Harald by any chance.
Oh, and indeed, I didn't expect that my reputation carried across the ocean.
As mentioned, out be luck.
Mm-hmm. Well, it usually might not, but we have a library in the freehold, and some of our ancestors had written journals, some of which include encounters with you.
Yeah, I still vividly remember any such encounters in the past.
Mm-hmm. You actually were probably with some of the changelings right after the changeling way became a thing, and they probably needed some help to continue fighting off the werewolves. Well, so, okay, we need a new way to get in contact. Fair enough. Obviously, Vivian, being what she was a significant guarantee of things not deteriorating, and she was able to meet us in a way that was conducive to everyone's safety, let's say. And, well, at least we have you, and you're familiar with what my people can do.
Yeah, indeed.
It would be a shame, and please explain to your prince what this means, if we were forced into unleashing the arts of fire or war upon your gathering places. We wouldn't want to do that. That would be really, really bloody.
Oh yeah, we have no intentions of hostilities between our people.
Good, good. It is simply our policy to state our readiness to respond with violence should we be provoked.
Of course.
There is another matter that needs to be addressed. We have been provoked recently. One of your vampires has attempted to dominate numerous guests of the freehold over the past several years, and when confronted, and having promised, made a sanctified oath no less, to depart this city in order to avoid hostilities, broke that oath with us.
I will make sure to bring this to the prince's attention.
Please do. And please be aware that while we desire no further hostilities with your city, as far as we're concerned, this individual is a complete outlaw, and we will treat her as such.
I will make sure to inform the prince of this, so we can reach an understanding. What may be the name of this outlaw?
It is one of the Princess Kia Seed pets, the female one.
Ah, I see.
As far as I understand, there are only 2 in the city, so she shouldn't be difficult to identify.
Oh yeah, the other one was Gregory, right?
Yeah. As a courtesy, I have the authority to speak on behalf of the freehold, and I can offer you 2 nights, counting this one, where we will not pursue any efforts to attack her, to give you a chance to resolve this diplomatically and lodge a protest if you wish.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I assume that your greatest concern is the lupines.
Yeah, it has come to hostilities, as it often does when they are involved.
Yes.
I'm afraid to say we are even in a state of open war.
I understand. Well, the position of the freehold is that this is a neutral ground and a free territory in place of learning where people can visit without threat of violence. And since the werewolves have not currently made any hostile acts towards us, we are not interested in opening hostilities.
We understand that.
Good.
Okay, then how about I see about taking care of the outlaw, and we can perhaps have another meeting in 2 nights.
Very well then. And she's gonna give you the location of another bar you visited at midnight.
At midnight.
Very well. I'll see you then. She stands up, offers her hand.
I'll shake it. Well, have a good night.
And you, good hunting. She's gonna leave.
But then I'll leave too, maybe pick up Walda and head to Elysium so that I can inform Kurt.
Okay. I mean, she was probably listening in, honestly. Especially if it involves Kurt making deals. Oh yeah, even with the high difficulty. With the aspects, easy money. She heard everything. Okay, so you're heading back to Elysium? Bacon, you don't really have a phone line, do you?
Don't think so.
Okay. So, a little later in the night, and we'll get to you, getting news of what has happened in a moment, Jacklor. A little later in the night, once they've had a chance to do some first responding already, your dude, which one ended up going there? Think
What's the one with celerity?
I don't know the new guys yet. Not that well. So it was Harold. Harold is gonna arrive back at he's gonna arrive back at the warren with his ghouls carrying a third ghoul who has been tied up and knocked out.
What is this thing here?
Okay, so this is how it went down, boss. We went up, then there was electricity coming out of the walls and zapping people, and suddenly werewolves jumping down the stairwell and started killing people. So I left, right? So I went down to where my 2 guys, you know, these 2 fucks, were guarding the back way out, right? And this fuck was with them. But we couldn't just leave because he would have snitched, so I think I fucked up.
Yeah, think so. Fuck.
Suddenly politics.
Just just wait a moment. Clan gathering. I just go around asking, can you asking each member of the clan, can you mind wipe mortals?
I'm gonna check if there's anyone that can. In Herald obviously can. See, this way you should have picked Dominate instead of Auspex.
My plan was just to spy on the others, not to interact with them.
Right, how's that going? Leo tells you that he can get the mortal to do something, but he can't just dig around in his memories.
Okay, continue training on that. It will be useful someday. Oh fuck. I just starts pacing around. It goes to Patricia. Do you have all the papers on the blaming the Tremere with the finance thing?
Okay, who's the most likely to have this goal have been from? I don't think Bobby had any goals, so there's 3 groups. Prince probably would have sent his own, so it really is just a random Toreador or Tremere goon to make up the numbers. So roll me a 1d10. High is Tremere, low is Toreador. So Jackalor, he has one of your goals.
I don't know where he is from. I just look into his clothes and see if he has any identification.
Jackalor, how are ghouls tied into the wards? How is this? What tells the wards that someone should be let through?
For the ghoul wards, it's probably just a token on their chest.
Okay. Then you see tattooed into his chest a sigil and a stylized mark of Clan Tremere. He's been stabbed. Please return to Chantry in case he got lost.
Okay, it's been a long time since I used Auspex. Let me just use Auspex on the thing, see if there's any weird magic on it. What would it be to try to see if there's magic with
Heightened
Auspex?
senses with perception awareness, usually.
Okay.
It's the same thing you'd use to have a chance at seeing ghosts, so just... If you activate heightened senses, you can roll perception awareness at 8, I'm gonna say.
Okay, I do.
Yeah, it's faint, but there's just this faint crimson sparkle that comes and goes.
Fuck. This shit has magic on it.
Harold's ghouls pull out their guns and point at his head.
No. I don't think that's a good idea. Now the point is...
Boss,
some
listen. Boss, nobody has to know. We could just feed him to the gators. No one has to know this happened.
Yeah, the point is, I don't know what magic does, so it may be some tracking magic.
Okay, so we just stopped here to see if we could hunt any Nosferatu or actually werewolves, so let's just go and dump it by their swamp.
Okay. But yeah, I think I can call the Venture. I think they can mind wipe.
you would end up owing a boon. Most
That's
likely,
not
this
that
is
bad.
this is kind of like, since it's fucking with the Tremere, Andy might not ask for too much, but this is boon territory. You're asking to cover things up from the prince, essentially.
Yeah, this. It will honestly just take the boon. It's not that bad.
I know. Yeah, if we kill him, and for some reason they ever discover it, it's going to be bad for us. I think the Tremere are like one of the most powerful clans now. They have the sheriff, so they should be on high on the city.
You know the sheriff doesn't actually like her clan, so that's a little less bad.
I mean, Pierre Tremere, he doubts that many of them actually like their clan, just the annoying elders.
Like, if you go to Kurt, he's gonna take something from you, just to make a point. So what are your options? You can go to the Toreador, because they will take even more.
Yeah, he's going to defend you.
Yeah, you have the Ventru and maybe the Sheriff. Those are, like, your options. The Malkavians aren't likely to like you much either, because Vivian shot on you and they might still hold to that.
Yeah, he doesn't know too much on how the sheriff would react and how she actually hates the clan. So he's going to defend you. He's going to gather the proof that the Tremere are fucking with them. And just go there carrying the body.
Do you have no Obfuscate 5?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, cool.
I can actually go there carrying the body.
See, if you're carrying the body and it's unconscious, it acts as an object. They have to accept, I'm gonna say they have to be willing to be under Obfuscate 5, because that's more of a friendly buff. So what you can do is roll intimidation, like strength intimidation, to get him to come along quietly, while being, conscious.
I don't think that's a good idea. It will make the whole altering the memories harder.
No, not necessarily. Like, either way, like, Harold, like, when this dude starts coming to Harold, just goes, and just restarts him.
I mean, but he doesn't know about the code, so he thinks that each more memory it gives it will make it harder. So the Ventru may ask more for the
Okay.
job.
So, how do you wish to transport him?
Do any of you guys have a car or know how to drive?
Check if anyone has the requisite stuff. What they would need is drive and resources and probably a face mask.
I mean, just drive is enough. I can steal a car for them.
And then have nobody driving or Nosferatu driving?
Fuck, does she not have any background? I'll fill that in later. Harold. Okay, so Patricia does have an old, probably like fourth hand pickup truck. And she does have a face mask. Just load him in the back. Throw the tarp over him. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, don't worry. It's all going to be alright. I'd make sure that he is well tied and with stuff on his mouth so he just don't scream.
Okay. And you're taking him to the Ventru. So, Jackalor, you sent these people quite happily on a diplomatic mission. So, about half an hour after they were supposed to head out from Elysium, you get a call.
Yes, this is.
Okay, just let me talk. Don't interrupt. It all went to shit. I'm clawed bad. My ghouls are fucked up. I need someone to bring some blood. Bring reinforcements. This place is loaded with werewolf magic. Holy crap! They might be back any second. Send everyone! You're muted.
Oh, it's not. It's not. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
I'll send it all the backup I have.
Okay. What do you send?
Myself, including as many ghouls as I can leave with that skeleton crew back.
Okay. So how many ghouls do you have in total?
I believe it was like 12, 13 before she arrived with her ghouls.
Yeah, those aren't going in a common pool. Those are personal ones, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you usually have something like 2 or 3 ghouls keeping an active lookout, with another, 3 or 4 being on backup duty, like essentially ready to respond quickly, and the other half are taking care of, stuff. So it's kind of like 6 hours actively watching, 6 hours on, call, and then 12 hours for sleep and just general taking care of your own business.
Yeah. 12 hours sleep. That's like,
Well,
wow, these ghouls live in luxury.
Well, you're under siege, so they have to, in order to stay alert, they have to rest. So
yeah,
it makes sense for it to
I'm,
be
I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I'm saying that it's pretty nice for a ghoul.
Well, it's for a ghoul, yeah, but it's 12 hours to also take care of any incidental business, including, not going crazy. That's their actual free time.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so you could probably take the ones that are on call with you. But you've already sent a couple over there. So, let's see. It kind of depends. Yeah, you could get something like 4 together if you really wanted to grab as much as you possibly can.
I'll grab 4 and I'll bring... Yeah, I'll bring Sledge.
Okay. He brings the fence post.
Good. Yes, we'll need that.
Okay. So you arrive at Elysium. There is some activity there. Do you go to find out, or do you just head for this place immediately?
Honestly, we need to save our assets. So I can head to Elysium afterwards. So
okay, fair enough. So you head for the door and head outside. Would you have a car for Tremere use at Elysium permanently?
yes,
Okay, then you...
It would be so incredibly inconvenient to not have one.
Okay. Then you get into the car. Sledge tries to keep up with his stubby wings.
Can he be in the back or something?
He's probably pretty heavy, and you're already squeezing 5 people in there.
Yeah, true. So he just glides from rooftop to rooftop.
And he can fly, but he only has like flight 2.
Yeah, that means he can't actually fly. He's like flight 3.
No, he can fly, he's just slow, he can't carry much.
Ah, okay.
And you arrive at the spot without incident. You recognize some of the faces down there, keeping a careful watch. Looks like most of them are... Well, there's probably like 3 people down here. I'm gonna say that the Ventru and Justin have taken Brenna back to Elysium. So it's just like 3 fuck-ups and a pair of ghouls. Actually 4 fuck-ups and a pair of ghouls keeping watch downstairs.
Where is my clanmate?
Bobby's just gonna like narrow his eyes. So, wait a sec. Why are you here?
I was called and she said it was urgent. I take that as something went amiss. I assumed there were still werewolves about.
You know what? That sounds like a good point. You go right inside. She's upstairs. Careful, the place is magicked to repulse vampires.
Very well.
Okay, go upstairs. Make me a willpower roll at... it was ward level plus 3.
Thaumaturgy rating. No, well...
It
yes,
was 3
ward
plus
level.
thaumaturgy rating.
Yeah, 3 plus
22.
thaumaturgy rating. But
And
you
ward
only have...
level was 4 for the most basic for the minimum
Yes.
you need for kindred wards. So assume that it's gonna be that like we did before, so you're rolling at 7 for willpower. You need 2 successes. Okay. So you walk upstairs like, where's the ward supposed to be? Walk through, see just the little sparks of electricity in there, keep walking, and then they start to solidify and fling you backwards.
This fucking shit.
So you slam into the railing of the stairs and roll down the stairs, ending up on the landing. You take 1 point of lethal that you can soak and 2 points of bashing that you can soak. The point of lethal being from the ward and the bashing being from tumbling down the stairs awkwardly.
This is for the lethal. I
Soak it.
Soak it.
Yeah. The real damage is to your pride.
Fucking werewolves. This...
Yeah.
I can attempt again at 1 plus 1 difficulty.
Yes, it's a little different. It seems like there's a delay before the ward detects an intruder and kicks in, unlike your wards, which are more act like a solid wall you can't cross. These are more the kind that just expel you if they detect you're not, or try to, if you shouldn't be there.
Can I spend willpower on this?
Sure.
I will spend willpower on this, because I don't want to repeat that issue.
Huh. Look at that. Jackalor's camera froze on his embarrassed facepalm. That's lovely.
Oh. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just can't see you.
Okay.
Is that better?
You walk forward
Yep.
and force your way through. There are 3 bodies in various states of shifting between forms where they were frozen at death, and chunks of blood and meat splattered across the walls. Also, holes from, essentially, you see like the tine of a fork stuck in a wall, a silver fork. This is apparently where the battle raged, but your Tremere isn't here.
Are my ghouls with me? They would be the ones carrying the blood.
They are, but they're kind of waiting at the just short of 4th floor, just looking in.
I'll use. There's no phones, so. Like, I'll activate heightened senses and attempt to pinpoint her location that way.
Okay. Give me a perception alertness at 8.
That's including all 4 levels all specs?
We're doing that differently.
Okay.
Somewhere on the floor above.
Okay, I go up there.
Okay. Luckily, you don't need to make a another check. Do you ask your ghouls to go with you?
No, not if they're wards. They might damage the blood. Because they're in like clay jars, I think.
Mm-hmm. So you just take some blood and go upstairs.
Yes.
Okay. You go upstairs and looks like the well, this is like a apartment building. So there's a stairwell and 6 floors. And these are pretty close to the city center, so these are kind of upscale apartments.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 4 of them on each floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a landing. You know, stairwell's kind of on the side of the building. And then there's landing, and it goes into a corridor with 4 apartments.
Okay.
So you go upstairs, and there is one person that just immediately raised shotgun in your direction.
Who are you?
Woof woof motherfucker, you see he's preparing to fire.
I'm William Durand, Regent of the Chantry.
I assume you're doing that as you're spinning out of the way, so the blast just goes through the doorway where he pulled it aside a little. And you see just silver splattered across the concrete in like the upper corner. Oh shit! It's the reinforcements! Send them in! It's fine!
I entered the room.
Okay. So, this is interesting because the... God damn it, camera. Refocus. Cunt. There we go. Because the load-bearing walls are left intact, but they're pretty much the only thing that hasn't been renovated away. The walls between apartments, they're partially intact. But even those have like yay big holes through them and multiple cables just snaking back and forth. In the corridor, there is like a... It looks like an exposed vent that's been tried to be concealed, but other floors didn't have it, and at a guess that might be more cabling going to the other 2 apartments on the other side. In that room, there is, again, more wiring, snaking around in different directions, and at least 4, essentially, you know how ancient computers used to be the size of closets? There's 4 of those in here interconnected, and presumably more in other rooms. You actually see, it looks like these sparks are slowly coming off of them and fading as they get further out, and you can actually feel just this faint pressure on your mind. It's sort of just this background constant pulse of get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, you impure fuck.
I approve. This is magic. I like magic. Especially when they take it from others.
Other than that, there are what you'd expect: keyboards, printers for outputs. One place has just, it's been opened up. It looks like there's several just what are they fucking called? Filing cabinets, which seem to be loaded with doctrine waffers, if you know what I mean, punch cards.
Yeah.
Some of those, at a glance, look to not be made of paper. But, Annie has certainly taken a glance at what's there, and you can see just a slash going down the side of her neck, across her collarbone. Oh, you came yourself. Here it is.
This is quite impressive. They fought viciously, I assume.
Yeah, we killed 3 of them.
Yes. No matter. They're probably gone by now.
Oh fuck, there's more, aren't there? I fucking knew it.
There was supposed to be around 5, I think.
You would know more than supposed to be, I think. I don't think you would have more precise information.
Yeah. There's supposed to be more, but as I said, they're probably gone by now. Back to their cairn. No matter. Here is some of the blood. There is more downstairs with the other ghouls, but I didn't think I'd chance going through the wards with them, as they might damage and spill the blood, and that would be harder to. It wouldn't be great to clean up.
Okay. So she's gonna open it up, drink it, and just immediately feed the couple points she gets to her ghouls. One of them you see is lying by the wall, clearly badly hurt, and with the amount of blood on his clothing, this close. This fucking close.
Oof.
When she opens her wrist to feed him, you can see the mist darken around the spot, and it's almost like there's just this small change of pitch, like a snarl in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you wish to do? You might have maybe half an hour or an hour before the princess force arrives, so you must act quickly.
Yeah, I'll try and determine what kind of spirits there are first. Like perception, awareness, or empathy to do the aspects thing.
I think in order to analyze this is going to be a perception occult at 8.
Okay.
And this is going to be you just... how long do you want to spend on this? This is going to affect how much you get per
Like at least 15 minutes.
Okay, so 15 minutes. Alright. So perception occult.
Create. Oh no, that's intelligence.
And you have kindred lore for occult, I assume?
Yes, kindred lore.
Do you have technology?
No, only science. I'm an old timer. I don't have technology.
And computers you definitely don't have, I assume.
Nope.
Yeah, you'd really need someone with a dot in computers. Okay, so you can tell that these spirits are hooked into the power and phone lines of the city. Based on what you know, werewolves, these look like... You can probably tell that these are weaver spirits, obviously, because this is not something werewolves normally work with. This is rare for them to do, especially on this scale. Someone was ambitious.
I like ambition, and I can reap its fruits.
And the most disturbing thing you find is... You know how you sometimes talk on people on the phone? On one of the tables laid out is every phone conversation you've had over the past week printed out. Word for word. Every awkward pause. Listed like pause 3.57 seconds. Just like a log of the call.
Can I attempt to search this place for more of such things?
Okay. Just a general search. It would be perception investigation at 6/5 if you're using Auspex.
I don't have investigation.
Then perception at 8/7 if you're using Auspex.
Okay, let's not do that. If I...
They built a listening device. They did an essay before an essay was a thing, Jackalore. You're all fucked.
Yeah, that's why I'm really upset with them.
Just take out the boxes that you can and burn the rest.
Okay, I will try and search and get a hold of as much of the call logs as possible, and put them in a box and try and get that box out of here.
Okay. So
So
go
perception
ahead.
investigation at
Yeah.
perception at.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend a point of willpower on this.
Okay.
3 successes.
Okay. Well,
I don't bother looking through them, just trying to find as much of them and put them in a box.
yeah, no. Unfortunately, it looks like there is like a board in one of the rooms with a to-do list or don't forget this list, and some of it is like told to be careful. There's 2 names cited when to take care of this. That looks like it was done tonight. Make sure that an account is settled and closed kind of thing.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Some got away. But in terms of boxes, unfortunately for you, Jackalore, there is a pinned note that says, remember to take logs to Cairn as agreed. And there is a due date, which was 2 days from now. You only find logs that go about 10-12 days, so at a guess, they did this every 2 weeks. Anything older than that, they know about. And you left survivors, which probably read some of the newer logs as well.
This is fucking.
You stumbled into it pretty quickly, though. I was thinking that it would be real interesting if it went on for longer before you attacked these fucks.
Well, at least there wasn't that much important stuff going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Andy, meanwhile, is gonna... Hey, have you seen this? Looking at the logs.
Yes, I'm aware.
No.
seem to have been-
This one specifically. She holds up one of the pages from that was shuffled under. It's a transcript of a call. It starts with, yes, hello, this is Benjamin. Remember we met a couple of years ago? Oh yes, a pleasure to talk to you again. Is there something I can do for you? And it goes on to discuss about trying to use the fairies to track down a mage the werewolves presumably have.
Oh gods, they know.
Oh, this is wonderful for us.
You should have your Nosferatu stick around here and find out all these logs.
We are trying to be neutral on this war. So,
I mean, they're just gonna use the Nosferatu to spy on you instead now.
I'm going to kill every single Nosferatu I fucking find.
but don't worry, I'm personally going to track the records later and just read them while everyone else is busy.
You can't enter the chantry.
Oh, but you won't get all of them. And I can get into the chantry. I can pass through the wards now.
How? No, that's just the ghoul wards.
Oh, my ghouls can get past the wards now.
You
One ghoul.
would... The way I said it, it's tattooed into their skin, so you would need a talented flesh crafter. And once the skin got grafted on without binding life to life, it would start rotting. So your ghoul would be fucked in a couple of days, but yes, he could get through the wards temporarily.
Yes, my alligator ghoul will enjoy that power.
Okay, you're a monster.
I fucking hate you so much. I will kill every single Nosferatu I find.
Nosferatu will be like, yo, you're welcome to come into the warrens to look for us.
Anyway, did anyone else see this, or was that just you?
I don't fucking know that the Nosferatu and the goddamn Alcaria just... I don't know where they ran off to. They were coming up with us, but... They weren't there when the fighting broke out, the fucking cowards.
Fucking hell. Well, it's good that you survived. It would have been a...
Gee, I'm just warmed by your regard, Regent.
I do mean that. I don't want Anitremir dying. We need all of you.
So what are we gonna do with this?
Well, we're probably going to manage to convince the sheriff, or not the sheriff, the prince, Kurt, that it's best to be in the chantry. Of course, he has complete access to it at any time, but it's the safest place to put it.
Check roll intelligence politics. That's
What?
6. Intelligence
Intelligence
politics, yeah. The chances of you convincing Kurt to willingly let you keep this in the chantry where you can turn off access at any moment, given your past relationship, is close to nil.
True. It would have been the safest place to put
Especially
that
if he catches on that this is valuable. Do you know what this does? No.
stuff. Well, I can honestly say I have no idea what it actually does.
I mean, there's another safe place to let some very dangerous stuff.
One of the printers turns on and starts printing.
I read what it's printing out.
It says, Michelle. Hello. Who is this? Michelle, it's me, Kurt. Head over to so-and-so address right now. I think your regent is already there, so be careful. There's apparently something there, some kind of magic shit. Just take care of it and make it secure. Okay, I'll be right on my way. I'm nearly done at the tower anyway. I can leave the odds and ends till later tonight. Good, good, and just call up as many of the others as you can find. Will do. Call ends. TikTok Jackalord!
I can't move the fucking computers anywhere.
It's 4 apartments with carefully laid out spiritual glyphs and computers. Yes, the wires are arranged in a specific pattern, you're pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll... Could I manage to steal all the logs I could find and like destroy and burn the note about the logs?
You can burn the note, but as soon as a call is made, they're gonna realize what this does. So what you can do is peruse the existing logs at your leisure
Yeah,
after
I'll
you
do
steal
that
them. Okay. Then you gather the logs for the last 12 or so days of kindred conversation. Over phone lines and the like, of course.
then. Yeah.
Not as much as you might fear, but oof. Enough to tell when people are gonna be at certain places a lot of the time.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, you got like 2 successes on telling what this does and 3 on investigation. There is a map, probably in one of the other apartments, that has just like dots pinned on the wall. And there's like a wall, one laid out on a map under like a robotic arm with like a piece of charcoal in it. But
So that's where they found out where the calls are coming from.
might be. But some of them are pins, but a lot of places on the map on the wall are essentially still circles. There's like a plastic sheet laid over it. And they, something they can write on and then erase it.
Mm-hmm.
The werewolves did Second Inquisition before it was cool.
Fucking hell.
They burned so many downtime actions on building this thing. You're so lucky. This devolved into a firefight the way it did.
Yeah. Kind of. So they weren't nearly as neutral as they claimed to be.
I mean, they
Yes.
cooperated with both sides, but neutral for werewolf is we won't actually claw you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have elders looking down your shoulder, you give them something.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise you're fucked. So I'll wait. Well, is there anything else I can do here?
You could try and talk to the spirits.
How would I do that?
You don't know. There are keyboards, so presumably you could write to them.
I don't know how to operate a keyboard.
You can tell what the letters are. So, and writing machines were a thing before keyboards.
true.
These look similar, so you can vaguely guess how this would work. You essentially have enough time to do one more 15-minute action.
Do I have?
You might have the right Tremere in the chat tree, but I don't think you have the right Tremere here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had technomancy and rituals based on technomancy, you could bitchify this machine most likely, but
Oh yes.
But
But
your
Yeah.
librarian spent the last couple of years researching weather magic instead.
I think that's honestly worth it. But because Technomancy, I'm not sure it's in its baby steps right now.
Well, yeah, werewolves are making baby steps on machines like this as well. They just chose to do it here.
Yeah. Oh. Do I have any Tremere by chance that I know of that have any affinity for machines or technology?
I mean, in theory, Annie, since she makes stuff, but apparently she only has practical understanding of, using tools.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia? No. She's a Tremere's Tremere. Your child would have a high enough occult to be able to maybe figure things out from that end somewhat. But he would need
No, I can do it myself.
Actually, no. He does have a basic understanding of technology.
Mm-hmm.
So Sean was here. He might be able to hook you up, but even if you call him right now and he comes straight away, at best he's gonna be arriving at the same time as Michelle.
Yeah, but I'm looking at for the future.
He's probably your best bet.
Okay.
He's the only one I think who
Honestly,
has any
I'll
understanding.
attempt to contact the machine spirits.
Okay. What do you tell the machine spirit?
Can I convince you to work with me?
Give me a manipulation expression at 8, because you are writing on a machine while trying to be friendly with it. I mean, if he had spirit manipulation, that might help Redemar.
I don't have spirit manipulation. I'm not
Okay.
very focused on blood magic. I'm mostly social.
This printer next to this keyboard turns on. Prints out single line, skips couple lines so it's visible. Error. Logon writes not observed. It waits for like maybe 30 seconds in awkward silence that it prints out another line. Boop, boop. Please request username and password from current administrator.
Did I find anything that looked like a post-it note with a password on it?
There's one that seems to talk of this. It's just a single. Remember to light a special incense. That's the only thing it says.
Is there incense around?
You look around. It looks like there's something utterly disgusting. It's wood chips, wax, and isolation plastic mixed together.
Well, I'll turn off Auspex and attempt to activate it.
Okay. The incense, you would have to light it. You have to burn the isolation plastic to please the machine spirit.
I'll attempt to burn it. I have a lighter.
I'm pretty sure that this tech heresy.
Okay. You light it. The room seems to brighten slightly. So, roll intelligence at 9+1 to try and stumble your way through activation procedures.
We don't have any willpower left to spend.
You would have started. How much have you managed to spend? You should have
Like
ended.
crazy.
You would have gotten one back last session, and you should have ended downtime or started the new arc with full. You really spent that much?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. So that's 9+1.
Mhm.
And 1 success. Okay. Somehow, you realize where you need to stand. You pull out 1 power cord and plug it into another socket that says grounding. Sparks fly through the air. It stinks fucking horrible. The ghoul is gagging. And instead of the printout, the machine there's just sparks coalesce and form just a silvery screen in midair that sort of swims in and out of focus slightly. Writ on it is password required. Please provide login.
I don't have enigmas. Will it?
You can use wits, I'm gonna say at 8, to try and outwit the machine spirit. But during this, you're gonna be interrupted by Michelle arriving.
I could always try and embrace the werewolves.
You could try.
Sounds like a plan.
No, let's not do that. Okay, can I spend a point of blood and activate the focused mind 1?
Which gives you extra rolls on wits, right?
Yes, extra dice and wits.
Yes, you definitely can. That's what it's made for.
Okay, 6 extra dice. I have 8 dice of wits.
Okay.
You said at 8?
At 8, yes, because you don't have enigmas. And this is a enigmas thing to
Oof.
try and bullshit it. You have fortitude, right?
F.
Actually, no, let's not be complete dicks about it. Let's do it this way. Roll to soak electricity damage. If you botch this turns aggravated. The one exception to botching soak not being a thing in the book.
Yep. Can I spend a blood point on fortitude?
Sure. Actually, you botched and it shocked you for it, so I'm gonna say not in this case, not unless you had declared it in advance to be
Okay.
pumped and primed.
I don't think my character would even know what that electricity works this way.
It usually doesn't.
Yeah. So 6. I take 1 point of lethal damage, which I
Okay.
will heal.
So you kind of fall twitching to your knees as the screen just turns red. And just a small air horn goes off in the next room, like woo! And there's just this red blaring intruder, intruder, intruder on the screen just flashing in your face. So, at that point, Michelle is gonna arrive here. She's gonna start setting up a perimeter herself. And, well, she's gonna come upstairs and ask you, what's the situation and what the fuck are you please doing? Thank you. Regent.
I was attempting to access this machine.
And how did it go?
Poorly. It's not my area of specialty.
She walks over to you and just pats at the coat. Yeah, that... no, I don't think that's gonna catch. You're gonna want a new coat. Learn anything useful while you were here?
Yes, there are records of every phone call for the last 12 days.
What do you mean every phone call?
Every phone call in the city.
Our phone calls.
Yes. And the princess and the primogens and so on.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna need to inform the prince. Oh, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, she's not gonna keep you there, but she's gonna keep an eye on you if you want to fuck with the machine anymore.
Can I would have to roll a 9.
For trying
Try
to
again.
enigmas again? Yeah,
Yeah.
you would.
Do I spend my last willpower on this? No. I'm not going to bother.
You gonna
If I-
try?
Hmm?
You gonna try?
No, I'm not going to bother.
Okay. Then the city currently controls one Weaver mainframe computer.
Well, the question is, how many vampires in the city have computers as a knowledge?
Virtually none. Computers are a
Um,
relatively new thing. 63 to 65 was when the first computers that a person could technically afford became available. Each one of those closets costs like $60,000 or $80,000 of $65.
I guess time to grant them praise, right, Kappa?
I have computers. It was that new thing that one Warren tried to research.
How much do you have?
I have 1 dot.
I'll allow it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, where this machine should be really is down in the sewers, right?
Is the safest place for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, before we move to the other Jacklord, where does the Regent move to next? Does he continue trying to poke around with this, or does he head elsewhere? Dilemmas, eh?
Do they have any volumes on this matter? On the computer and how to use it or anything like that? Computers for dummies, effectively, or something like that.
Let me check their skill levels. I'm pretty sure not all of them had computers. So, yeah, there are books, but they're not exactly beginner books. The most you find is a couple of cryptic instructions, like, change the directory to this commands, etc. Just things that are actually written down in code. And the books that are there, yeah, one of the rooms down below, if you take the time to look, does have a small library of books, but they're not new books. They are intermediate, trying to work their way up to master books.
Okay then.
What you
I'll try and
what you can find there is essentially, you know, things to look for, like the kind of languages that they might have used, right? Things like that, so you could look for more beginner-friendly books elsewhere. Like you can find references and things to look for and try to research, essentially. Because I think basic computer theory was already being worked on in the 19th century. So at this point, this is the glorious cutting edge of technology.
Well, I'll try and get as many of them as possible and move them to the Chantry for research material.
Okay. Michelle's ghouls are gonna stop you as you're bringing them out, and you're gonna have to wait for Michelle to okay you taking the stuff out, because it's like they know how you're likely to do things given the chance.
These are just research material, hardly any value of it for anyone but someone trying to understand this machine. And
Yeah,
I'd rather not do the studying here where I'm vulnerable.
she looks through this, just like a quick glance. It don't seem magical. It seems like some kind of machine stuff, but okay, fair enough, go ahead. Just next time, place like this, if you're bringing stuff out, just let us know and ask before. I don't think the prince would be happy with you taking initiative quite to this extent.
Understandable. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the warning.
Okay, so you now have intermediate COBOL. Congratulations. You are gonna go insane trying to understand that.
I mean, I can probably buy the other books myself. I do have like 3 resources.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to help someone else, I will do it for a boon.
Essentially, in order to use this computer, you're gonna have to spend enough time and XP to acquire computers 1. That or enigmas in sufficient quantities to make the spirit cooperate itself.
Yeah.
You know, in a more direct way. Alright. So, Harald, you head back to Elysium, I assume, after the meeting with the changelings.
Yep.
Which Elysium, though?
The one where the prince is, more likely.
Okay. The yeah, you arrive there without trouble. You catch a glimpse of William coming in carrying like an armful of books. Probably several ghouls following behind him, along with a gargoyle dressed in a ripped trench coat and like a World War I cap she would wear in the trenches. and a wrought iron fence post that has some silver crap wrapped around the tip.
That's certainly an interesting individual.
And, well, nobody impedes your access to the prince on this fine night. It's probably at this point there's like several of the back rooms that have been unified to... Well, actually, no, it's too early. He usually met in the tower. But there's like a room that he has claimed for the moment for audiences. And, yeah, when you walk in, he seems to be just leaning back in his chair and just thinking, deep in thought.
May I interrupt?
Oh, Hrald, yes, please. What news?
Well, I've met with the changelings.
How did it go?
Well, on the good side of things, they don't intend to join the hostilities on either side.
But
They've taken issue with certain female Kiesid. They say she's been spying into their affairs and the like, and she swore an oath to them to leave the city, but then broke it.
I see.
Though they're friendly too. They offered us 2 nights to see if we can resolve the situation ourselves, but if we don't, they will consider her a criminal.
Of course they would. Okay, very well. If you'll excuse me for a second, there's another matter I want to discuss with you, but I'm just gonna tell Mitchell to get her in here.
Very well.
It's gonna leave for like 5 minutes. Come back. Sit down. So, you've met werewolves before, I take it.
That is indeed true.
How familiar are you with their, for the lack of a better term, magic?
I've hunted them many times.
Okay, let's see if I can describe this. They seem to have, like, giant calculating machines is the way I understood it, wired together in some way, and wired into the city's power and phones somehow. I don't know how exactly that's supposed to work, but it's all supposedly charged with magic to the guilds. Any idea what they could be doing?
Oh, I mean, I don't have technology or computer, but I have a cult.
Yeah, you can roll intelligence occult at 8 to make an educated guess.
I'll spend upon the willpower because I haven't spent one yet, or chapter.
Okay. At a guess, it sounds like they're working with Weaver spirits of the city, which is... You don't know everything they can do with something like this, but you know that cities, at least the werewolves claim, have a strong Weaver presence. And this sounds like an attempt to either tap into or control that somehow.
It's... I only guess, of course. But there's a specific subcategory of spirits that are widespread in cities, and it seems like they plan to tap into them and control them somehow through these machines.
So it's a threat. Well, that makes my job a lot easier. Fuck those guys. Alright. Good. Well, I'll leave it to you, but I would prefer this machine held, and since you seem interested in hunting werewolves, it's up to you if you would prefer to hunt them in the park or try and ambush any that might seek to reclaim it.
Oh,
Sure, the rest of the clan can handle setting an ambush for the wolves there, if need be.
yeah, I mean, I would be delighted either way.
I personally wouldn't mind you taking a look at the machine, see if you can figure out anything else.
Well, it wouldn't hurt, though I don't understand much of technology.
Well, other than William passing through with apparently books on running such calculating machines that he stole from the werewolf's base, any insight you could give would be more than we currently have. Obviously, we didn't expect to find something like this there.
Well, yeah, I can certainly have a look.
Okay. Well, certainly. Good hunting. Try not to break the masquerade.
I'll do my best.
That being said, if you were to get results, I might be convinced to allow bending the rules a little. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I will keep that in mind.
Good. Good. Is there anything you need? Anything you require? I expect... Well, you have a meeting with the changelings tomorrow night. I'm gonna figure out what to do with the key seat. Till then, I'll let you. Didn't really have a phone line. How about you stop by it this morning? I'll try to have a message for you then to pass along.
Okay, very well.
Okay, good. Like I said, good hunting.
Yeah, thank you, my prince.
Finally a prince that lets the players do what they want. Except Jackalor, because fuck Jackalor stealing that machine. That's like, okay, I own all of your secrets now, what you gonna do? Storm the train? Oh wait!
Yeah, I mean, I guess I also have a look at it, so... I mean, I also don't have computer.
Okay, make a willpower roll at 7 to force your way into the location. That's not enough, you need 2.
Okay.
That's 2 bashing, please soak.
Sure.
It's like going into a strong wind and you're kind of involuntarily forced to take steps backwards or fall, is the wards try to push you out. Doesn't really damage you though.
Little does. So again, at +1 difficulty,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll spend a point of willpower.
Are you spending one or not?
I'm spending 1.
Okay. Good luck.
2 successes.
Okay. You forced your way in. And head upstairs where The screen has vanished, but there's a horn sounding like an alarm that can be heard on this floor and the one below.
Well, that's awkward.
So there seems to be several bodies of werewolves there on the 4th floor, and their blood has splattered the walls. Someone did business here. Bits of silver sticking out of the wall still.
Good work.
Going upstairs to the 5th floor. Looks like fighting
Yep.
spilled over here as well. There's some silver that has been blasted into the stairwell. And see bits of it in the wall from the blast. And the sheriff and Anna are talking low voices among themselves, gesturing at the arrangement of various wires.
I mean, I guess I'll tap my spear on the ground a few times to draw attention.
Yeah, she looks up.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one, huh?
Yeah, I heard the prince wants me to take a look at the machine.
Mm-hmm. From what I understand, the regent tried to turn it on or talk to it or something. It mentioned some rites not being followed, so then he tried to use the werewolf supplies to do a rite to access it, and it burned his coat with electricity. And he was walking a little stiff on his way out, so I think it might have hurt him a bit too. So just, I think looking with your eyes rather than your hands might be a bit safer.
I will keep that in mind, thank you.
Give me another intelligence occult roll. You have a negative with werewolves. You have hunted them specifically. If I
Yep.
recall. So,
Yep,
what's your specialty in occult?
kindred law.
Okay, then that wouldn't help. But, yeah, go ahead and roll date. Actually, no, make this perception occult. You're trying to figure it out. And
Okay.
yeah, the way the wires are arranged, the others don't really see it, but if you turn your head just right, it looks like a giant representation of a spider web leading through the walls and among the computers. And this definitely taps into the city's phone and power lines, so it's looking at it and thinking about it, it's like this symbology wise, it's like a smaller spiderweb that fits into a larger spiderweb. It's about connectivity.
Like it's the center of the spider web.
Or at least one node within it, yeah. And thinking about it some more, you know about moon bridges being a thing vaguely. If this is about connectivity, the Chantry has phone lines. It might be difficult to do, but if something like this was used as a crowbar in a very narrow crack in the wards, you could widen that crack maybe just enough to jump a connection across that wasn't just information.
Oof.
You aren't in any position to judge how close they might be, or if they were even trying, or how hard it might be for them, but at a guess, you would think that this is something that might be tried, theoretically.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've had 3 years to plan for a way of getting in, or multiple ways of getting in.
I'll ask the others if any of the werewolves got away.
Joel's gonna speak up actually, and he's like, I don't know, by our count too, they weren't here when this went down.
I suppose it's safe to say they will certainly join the enemy.
Well, this... I'm not gonna comment on how stupid or lucky this was. Apparently one of them lost control. Kind of... You noticed the full moon coming over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have thought of that before we decide on this night to confront them.
Well, maybe it might have been a lucky coincidence for us, judging from this machine.
Maybe. So any thoughts?
Well, I'm not completely sure, but they could certainly have. They could certainly try to advance their expertise, and perhaps it's even possible to send other things then. Just information through the phone lines, if you know what I mean.
Oh, for bastards.
No, that's just a guess.
Oh, that's fucking clever. Oh, that's really clever. Shit. Okay. This is like a ritual circle in a way, or a ritual space, which means that it needs to be arranged just so in order for it to work, right?
Yeah, it's arranged
Right.
like a spider web.
Spiderwebs burn. We anoint it with gasoline and set it on fire if we need to destroy it. And send a ghoul to do it while we stand far, far away, because this might try fighting back. You see electricity start to gather around her.
Well, it might be.
Just, oh shit, shit, shit. She starts trying to just bat it out and move away from it.
Yeah, we should certainly make the prince aware of the great danger it would be if it fell back into the hands of the enemy.
Well, there's... Oh. Oh, fuck, I need to call the prince and the regent. Are you gonna stay around for a bit, or are you heading right out again?
No, I can stay around.
Just give me 15 minutes, I'll be right back.
Very well.
So back at the Chantry, Jacklord, you're gonna get a call.
Yes, this is
Regent,
Duran.
it's me, Michelle. So, here's the thing.
Yes.
It's connecting to the rest of the city, according to Herald, which we already knew. It's like a spider web, right?
Yes.
And the phone and power lines are the strands of the web. How am I speaking to you right now? And if they sent power along the strands of the web? Remember that thing with the demon? There's that unstable place of power nearby we've been keeping a track of, right? It's not that far from this installation. Right next to more lines of the web, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what if someone was to, for example, just shunt a bunch of the power through the web as that node was surging right into like a pinprick wide spot on the wards?
Let's see what you're speaking of.
I'm gonna be talking to the prince as well. Do we need to come up with some way to rig this to be destroyed at the very least to set them back? Because I don't think we're gonna let them have this back.
Mm-hmm. I was considering asking the. What, do you think it can be moved? And so,
I have no idea.
does Harald think it could be moved?
He didn't say if like spider webs notoriously fragile from what I understand would have to be done just right. We would have to spend some time figuring out just how to do that in any case, I think.
Yes, we'd have to probably ask for expertise from outside.
Like either way we need to research it, which means we need to hold it where it is before we can even attempt to move it, and we have to be ready to destroy it in case they are likely to take it back.
Yes, of course. Do you think explosives would do?
It seemed to react very negatively to the idea of using gasoline since spiderwebs. Like if it's a spiderweb symbology, like the way I figured it, like we can work through that and spiderwebs burn so we could use gasoline.
Yes, that could be doable, yes.
It seemed very unhappy with the idea of fire, tried to zap me again, so I think I might be on something there.
Yes. We'd have to rig something up, definitely, but we can't let that remain.
I have a hound that is good at explosives, so I think he can rig an incendiary.
Yes, good idea. Thank you for informing me.
Yes, and consider cutting the phone lines. I always thought it weird that werewolves used to cut those regularly and then they slowed down.
Yes. It is a bit strange. Well, was. I understand now. Better now.
Well, do whatever preparations you deem necessary. I will do what I can here. Regent.
Well, if there was nothing else you needed of me, I have preparations that need to be done.
She gangs up. Meanwhile, in a more civilized part of the city that is decidedly all too close to uncivilized parts of the city, you pull up next to it's not too far from the French Quarter, and their apartments are right on the outskirts of it, where it's like, it could be business district, it could be French Quarter. And it's, like, actually it's probably just Andy's place. So he probably owns like a floor there.
Yeah. I just leave the car. I make sure that my obfuscate is of a very rich-looking white man.
Then you need to roll manipulation performance and spend blood points to increase your performance. Because you look like an ugly rundown fuck. Even if you don't look disfigured with obfuscate 3 unless you spend blood.
Yeah, how much blood do I need to spend?
Depends on how good you want to look. Like, one is, okay, that looks like an expensive suit, but she's clearly only with him for the money. 2 is like, oh, okay, he's a fat executive, but okay. 3 is like, oh, he's pretty decent.
I think that 2 is enough.
Okay, then you need 2 successes on manipulation performance at 7 and 2 blood points.
So, blood points. Performance. Wait, I have that. Huh.
Okay, that's enough. You could increase it up to 3 if you want to spend the blood.
Yeah, let's give a good impression.
Okay. This is pretty late in the night. So, actually, this is a relatively high-class place. So, there's like this one lone security guard who's just sort of yawning behind the desk and just coffee.
Just go pass him into the building. I nod at
You
him.
discover that the door is locked.
Go to him. Excuse me, good sir.
Oh, no. It's like you have a door with a window in it, and the security guard is on inside. You like knock, and he decides he's gonna let you in.
Okay, just knock on the door.
You hear shuffling as he's coming over. Yes, how can I help you, sir?
Excuse me for bothering, but I have to have an emergency meeting with one of my business associates. I believe that he lives here.
Okay, who are you, here to meet?
Andy?
You mean Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Very well, sir. Shuffles over to the desk. Calls up. Yes. He puts the phone aside, shuffles back over. Sir, if I might inquire, what is this regarding?
It's about some possible interferences in one of his business.
Rolls his eyes, shuffles back over. It's a short pause as he explains the situation. Stands up a little straighter. Hangs up, comes back, opens the door. Very well, sir, you may proceed upstairs.
Yeah.
Second floor, he owns the entire floor. Office is the 3rd door on the left, I believe.
Thank you. Good night for you, sir.
See him just down the rest of his coffee and he just slap his face a little. Whew, nearly got in trouble there.
Yeah, I just go to his place, go into his office.
Just raise an eyebrow at a face he doesn't recognize. Well, sir, how can I help you?
Oh, it's me, Oluwase. I just take out my folder with all the documents. Here's the stuff.
Actually, I just realized this is kind of a power move, because your investigator probably knows where Andy does his business, but his haven isn't public knowledge.
Oh,
So you just showed up at his residence like, bitch, I could own you.
yeah. I don't think that she remembered to tell me that.
Yeah, she totally didn't. She's a fledgling. You said, let's go to him. Okay, I'll drive you. Okay. Let me take a
Here's all
look.
the proof that the Premier are interfering on your finances.
Okay, excellent.
But I would like to ask you for just a tiny favor.
Mm-hmm.
Today was the suicide operation to try to diplomacy with the werewolves, the neutral
Yes,
pact.
I'm aware. Go on.
The neonate that I sent kind of fucked up, and he has a unconscious Tremere ghoul with him. Can you mind wipe it?
What did he do?
Well, when shit started, he ran away, but the ghoul was there, so he just knocked it unconscious.
I see. Okay. How strongly do you feel about this neonate? As in, how much do you want to save him, Bacon?
I'm kind of short-handed right now.
Okay. I assume you're trying to downplay how important this is to you.
Yeah.
You can make manipulation
We could-
subterfuge roll to present a I don't give a fuck. I see, so he fucked up, ran away, and knocked out a Tremere ghoul.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And I take it you don't want the prince and the regent to find out.
Mainly the regent. The prince probably is going to like punish him somehow, but I prefer to do things my way instead of letting the prince interfere on how my clanmates are punished.
The prince does have a reputation for taking it out of people's hide, that's true. And what kind of boon did you have in mind? You just muted yourself.
Fuck, I muted myself. Stupidity. Out of character. I don't remember the last time that I actually got a. How do they work?
Essentially, it goes from trivial to life boon. Trivial is like you take 15 minutes or half an hour out of your night to just make a call or do something real quick. Mine is like you might do something non-risky for night. Moderate is you do something, that might...
Okay, yeah.
It's like... It's a scale of how much you're supposed to go out of your way and how much risk you're supposed to undertake in pursuing, fulfilling it. So like moderate, it's like it's some chance of it going wrong. It will require some work. Major is like, yeah, you're definitely gonna be in danger. It's gonna take a lot of effort or cost you something you actually really give a fuck about.
I would say a minor boon. You think that's enough for your servers?
I would think a moderate is more appropriate given that I am risking my relationship with Kurt if I do this. He's known to look down on people who try to play it sneaky.
That's the moment that he doesn't have enough politics to really go much after it, but yeah, okay. I would accept it.
Okay. Bring up the ghoul then. I'm gonna need about an hour with him. And I assume that you're gonna... What do you want him to believe? Do you want me to just wipe this night from his memory? Because that will be obvious, or I can try to edit some things.
Mm. I don't know if you just wipe it from his memory, how likely those memories can be rearranged later.
Someone who's more skilled at dominate, if they realize something's fishy, can always try and examine his memory and recover what's there.
Recovering is really hard. You're rolling wits empathy against the dominator's willpower. Permanently.
That's assuming that Andy's willpower is high as all fuck.
Even if it's just 6 or 7, that's still not easy, since it's a uncommon dice pool.
I think if you just alter the memories, something like he just got scared, too much pressure. There was some magic circle that was sparking all around when they were trying to enter the place. Maybe he
Okay,
just.
well, here's the thing. I'd rather not do that because we're talking about William here. He's likely to kill the poor fuck for a failure like that. So I'd rather not
He's
have blood on my hands over this, if you know what I mean.
Let's just. Let's go for just a mind wipe then. I think it would be better for the ghoul.
Wait, how about this? He never saw who knocked him out, and just arrange for him to wake up in an alley not too far from the place where, this happened. And that way they can try and figure out what happened, but hopefully all will be well and at least it's somewhat covered.
That can work. I will go downstairs to retrieve him.
And it was with subterfuge. So he's gonna spend 15 minutes adjusting the memories and 45 minutes getting him to recount all the memories he wants of the Chantry and how Tremere do business. Well, he has this opportunity.
I'm totally fine. I would like actually to be watching.
No, he needs privacy.
Okay, I would just be outside using Auspex to hear everything.
Yeah, make a perception alertness at 8, because he's gonna be keeping his voice low.
Actually, can I just obfuscate inside? I mean, I can.
You can, but essentially you bring the guy inside and he has, okay, if you could wait outside or just come back in an hour, and then you go outside and then you have to slip back inside, so that's a wits stealth roll at 7 and you need like at least 2 successes to slip back in.
What
Good.
would be more likely? One success at. With self is my main dice pool, so. Could I spend a willpower point on this?
You can if you wish.
Spend one. Good thing I did.
Okay, you slip back inside and he looks at the door, frowns for a second and just shakes his head like, must have been the wind. Tell me about the daily life in the Chantry. How does your day start? How did it start yesterday? Tell me about the last time you were with Leonard. What was he doing? How? And yeah, he just sorts through some memories trying to get an idea of Leonard's patterns. He has just like you both end up having like a general idea of Leonard does leave the Chantry under guard, and he most often goes to the hospitals. When he goes, he spends like pretty much the whole night out, either leaving by mirrors or directly from the Chantry. And sometimes he does stop by certain financial institutions, where he has some people he's good friends with that work night shifts and the like, and have access to paperwork and the like. And he's gonna actually stop there. He's gonna go outside the room and come back like 2 minutes later with like ye olde recording device, thunk, and have him recount the memory again of how Leonard was going around financial institutions, doing things, and then just take out the tapes, package them, seal them carefully, put them in a drawer, lock the drawer. Just a smile on his face. Like, gotcha, bitch. He's gonna proceed doing the actual mind wipe. Or the alteration. He needs 3 successes for this. Okay. He's gonna call out, always say I'm done, you can come back in.
Now, what is the level of power move I want to do? Let's just do straight intelligence roll. How would, like, if I want to roll politics, but without having politics, what would be the difficulty?
It would be 8 or 9, but honestly, yeah, no, roll for it. You wouldn't realize if this is a... Do you have law by any chance?
Nope.
Yeah, no, then roll at 8. Technically, you're inside his domain. Disrespecting his authority to such an extent, he might take offense.
Okay. Yeah. So.
You can
Is he
roll...
looking at the door?
You can... No, he doesn't. You can roll dexterity performance to try and act as if you are just dropping obfuscate as you're coming in from the outside, as you open the door, you know, with, you know, you can try and fake it, but it's difficulty 8 because that's really awkward to do, believably.
Okay. 1 willpower again.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Success.
Well, I've wiped his memory. He's gonna come out of his daze in a second, so I'll knock him out right about now.
Okay. Yeah.
Twack.
Yep. I mean, I have some potent, so I think I can easily knock him out.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. You just need a controlled hit, essentially. Okay.
Hitting outside.
So just drop him off somewhere appropriate, not too far from the place, and he'll believe that he didn't see who knocked him out and that he was looking away, he heard a scuffle, and then something hit him.
Okay, thank you.
So, like,
I
make sure the other ghouls that were there have a similar story, like how they got knocked out or whatever, or just don't have them show up again. Big, you know.
I understand. Just going to leave. I hope that you also enjoyed the information.
Gives you a glare like,
I'm just talking about the folder I gave him, obviously.
Oh, Frank is actually in a good position. Michelle, the Michelle he owed a boon to for that training in disciplines died. And the ones that Havdan owned are all gone as well. Just
I think I have my first boom. That is actually mine, not the group or something else.
Yes, that's not a good thing.
Oh, it
It
is.
can
I'm
be.
doing
Someone you owe
doing
someone.
politics.
At least gives them incentive about you.
I mean, it does.
Going up the politics ladder.
Uh-huh. I'm just trying to remove anything that has to deal with Kavdan or Vivian. Okay, Jackalor. All the minor boons you owed people have died. Congratulations! Bacon, add to your character sheet that you owe a moderate boon to Andy.
There's a section for that.
There is. And you're gonna learn about this in a second, so I won't remove that yet because that's gonna be interesting to learn about. Moderate from Wasei to Andy.
The character sheet only has trivial, minor, and major. There's no moderate.
Is there a notes section of some kind?
Yes, there's a note section.
Yeah,
There's expanded the description.
Yeah, there's a description for it.
Okay. So you've done that. Jackalor. And I think Harald. You would be in the position to notice this. You went back to the Chandra actually, Jackalor.
I was going to head back to the Elysium afterwards.
Okay,
because I wanted to
so
talk,
you're back-
especially with the new ones.
Yeah. So you get back to Elysium and you see you're delayed slightly when you see that Pamela Bell is being practically dragged in to see the prince by Michael.
Michael? Mitchell.
Mitchell, sorry. And
You don't have Michael.
and there is a dog behind those doors. Are you either of you trying to listen in any way?
I don't have
Oh.
aspects.
What?
Are you
I'll
trying to listen in?
refrain from doing so.
Okay. Then both of you roll perception alertness at 8.
No, I'll refrain.
And no,
Again.
this is to just see if you all hear something once the voices become raised.
Okay.
Is it me or is Chris really quiet?
Am I? Really?
He sounds normal to me.
Let me. Is this better? Testing, testing.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Might be, I don't know. Might be on my end
Might be.
because I had to increase my volume to 100 to hear you.
Okay, so you wait for that to be finished, and you do catch a few words when Kurt raises his words. Just do you make out? Dare you? Waldo by this point would be there, so you just see Kurt come out dragging Mitchell by the arm, or not Mitchell, Pamela, and heading straight for Waldo. And pretty much the entire Elysium hears. Please witness that I'm fulfilling my boon to Pamela by protecting her from the consequences of her own stupidity. Waldo calmly smiles at him, which gives him another frenzy tick. pulls out a notepad, flips it open, just scribbles down. Such. Flips back. Scratches out a line. Flips it closed. Pockets it again. So witnessed, my prince. Just sort of tosses her away like, go bitch. So you're not gonna be handing her over to the changelings. She had a moderate boon with Kurt for teaching Mythosaria, which he is having to pay off now. So she has the protection of the city in this matter. Lovely how these things come around, isn't it?
Yeah. Moderates to one who to the prince are very valuable.
I mean, practically life-saving.
Yeah. Boons to the prince are generally really valuable, no matter who they are.
Well, that's one less. In any case, that's out there. Kurt, just gonna take a moment and just gonna go seethe on his own for a little bit. Always say, where are you heading after the meeting with Andy? Assume you're just gonna... Well, I'm assuming you're gonna drop off the ghoul, but after that. You can also have the fledgling just drop him off.
Yeah, I would set them to drop them off. I would like to go to Elysium to see how shit is.
Okay, so when you arrive, there's tension in the air. The Kiesid is sitting in the corner, for once not wearing her face mask, showing all her pale, bony figure. Because, hey, Elysium. And a lot of people keep throwing her the stink eye for some reason.
Just go to someone. Not a Toreador, another clan, and just ask, hey, what's happened?
Okay. Well, what other clan would you try to approach if they were here? Gangrel probably aren't.
Anyone?
And Ventro as well.
Anyone other than Toreador, actually.
Okay. Then you can actually go up to either Harald, or Walda, or Mitchell.
I will go
Or
for
William.
Harald.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go for Harald. Hey, what happened?
Oh, evening. Well, I remember how the prince was concerned with our situation with the changelings.
Did she fuck it up?
Well, it seems like she has spent the last couple of years kind of sabotaging it by spying on them.
Huh.
And they wanted to hand it over, but well, the Kurt still owed her a boon, apparently.
Oh. Okay. What kind of boon it was?
I know, I'm not familiar. It must have been something from a while ago.
Yeah, that was usually things known by the Malkavians who owed who what. So you have two options. You could ask Walda, or you could try and ask Sybil, because she sort of positioned herself to be like a secondary harpy.
And you could always ask Pamela.
Like, for Voda, she doesn't hate me, I think.
Okay, so Walda.
Voda, So, what kind of wound did she own to the prince sold to her?
Oh, it was a moderate.
Oh,
Apparently, well, actually, I don't give a fuck. And, you know, this is fucking Kurt, right? So, here's the thing, right? So, he wanted this special power, which their kind apparently has. So he tried to learn it, right?
yeah.
So he did, right? But he owed her a moderate boon. And that was back when it was like no big deal. He's just the sheriff. Okay, he'll get her out of trouble once if the higher ups don't really want her dead. But he's the prince now. And it's like, okay, extend me the city's protection. And this is so
Oof.
fucked. This is so fucked.
Oh, did that just fuck us with the
Yeah, a little
scheduling?
bit. A little bit. I'm gonna have to watch when I go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, that. I think I'm going to build more traps now. What changelings are weak against?
Okay, how about this, right? You help hook my clan up with a couple of safe places to sleep, right? And, because, well, not all of them are going to take you up on it, but just like, you know. Some of them don't trust you, but, well, and, I'll find out for you.
Go first. Try to just ask Pamela. Why not, right? She's
Wow.
kind of the shitty right now. Let's get right from the source. Don't need to bother your clan too much.
Wow. Wow, here I am, offering you the opportunity to be friends with us. And this is
Wait,
how you're gonna do me? Really?
Wait. Did I say something wrong right now?
No, you certainly didn't. I just see what the Toreadors say about you.
It just starts to look like ahead, trying to think.
What the fuck did I just do? No, it's fine. See, here I thought we would be sharing our skills and our information with you. You would help us stay alive and we would be great friends. But if that's not what you want, I understand. No, message received. I won't bother you again. Have a pleasant night. So she turns to start walking away.
Yeah, he's visibly confused.
The Malkavians didn't like that bacon.
They're just a clan of crazies, right? Nah, let's ignore it.
There's already a
Yeah,
message going out over the Madness Network. Do not serve this man!
Just go to her. Not that you kind of fucked us with the changeling stuff. What are you weak against?
Okay, I resent that. Actually, I really
Yeah,
fucking resent that. Fuck you.
Come on, you can also use the safe places. I need traps.
No, fuck you. You walked in here 5 minutes ago. Come over here. And your first words are an accusation. No, fuck you. Fuck you. You can communicate through my primogen. Screw you. I ain't telling you shit.
Oh, rude.
Can I hear this?
Yeah. You can. Walde is
I'm
just
going-
over in the corner, smile slowly growing on her face.
I'm going to walk over to him. What was it that is?
Mm-hmm.
Evening, my good Nosferatu. Your name was Oluvase? Did I pronounce that
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is
Yes.
Richard William.
I hear you're looking for knowledge.
I have to update the communal traps now.
Well, yes, but what were you looking for? I might be able to help you. It's knowledge is kind of a specialty of mine and my clan.
Just wanted to know if what works with changelings. I don't know magic.
Ah, that's a very good question. Uh, I will, for no price at all. I want to be friends with you after all. I'll tell you, cold iron, forged without any flame.
Well, actually, it's depends on how you forge it, but it has to be made over charcoal fires. The way I rule it, like
Okay.
it can't be like an induction furnace or anything like that. It has to be forged or cast with like industrial air techniques.
Okay. But yes, well, the actual crux is that you need to do it with charcoal.
I can probably do that.
Without it turning into steel, it still has to be an iron process, which means you have an open flame, which means you're probably casting iron.
Of course, I could help you with such a thing, but I can't, of course, sell everything for free. If you understand.
I mean, it just thinks. He has like 10 dice of craft. He has science and technology. No, I actually know how to make it. Thank you.
Very well. Just if you need any information about the mystical or knowledge of the world, I'll be happy to oblige for a price.
Thank you. I will keep this in mind. Leaves William. So, you know what to do. Now he's going to like hear people talking about what happened at the event, like the whole diplomacy with the werewolves thing.
You'd have to ask around at this point. What eyes are here are generally on the lot of you, because apparently there's been some new fuck up.
On his mind, she was just being bitchy because she's on a very bad situation right now.
Okay. Okay. So you walk over to Walda Herald. She opens her eyes, just winks at you, leans in and whispers, "I'll tell you later."
Very well.
Takes out eye, puts it on her.
Here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Okay. Bacon. You're gonna have to either wait for the situation or the conversation room to turn back to what was found at the place, or you're gonna have to ask around. So that sounds like a social role. You're good at those, right?
He's going to just wait around.
Okay.
Is the prince available right now, by the way?
You check the room where he holds audiences. He isn't there at the moment. Hear a faint thud from one of the other rooms.
Okay. Very well.
Yes, it's a Brewha Princedom. Welcome to New Orleans, bitch. Bring me a fledgling, I need a punching bag. Okay, so you're waiting for the prince to be available, and you're just chilling with Waldo for the moment.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe another 15-20 minutes later, the prince is gonna go past you, William, into the room where he is available for people tonight.
So he holds court, effectively.
Effectively, yeah, like it's a crisis situation, so he's just around tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on inside. Don't hover in the hallway.
But yeah, I enter. Evening, my prince.
So the machine, huh? What do you think?
Yes. It's quite the conundrum. The first thing I came to inform you about is that I will be cutting the power and phone lines to the chantry, and I will not reinstall them
Well,
once I have a generator. That is. So, you'd have to do either contact me the old-fashioned way or the other way.
okay. Got it.
On that note, I do feel it's a bit of a shame what happened to the glasswalkers, I think they're called. But with the information that's come up, well, the machine, it may very well be for the best, and I think you were right about attacking them at first, despite my misgivings.
Very well.
And I also came to ask, what would it take for me to appropriate the machine for the clan? Not locally, of course. I'd have to move it elsewhere. It wouldn't be safe to have it around here.
That would depend entirely on what it actually does, wouldn't it?
Yes. From what I understand so far is that it has the capability of monitoring en masse the communications of the city through the phone lines, and it probably has access to the the power lines and could probably shut off or turn on any power lines it's connected to. And do I know how that machines can count?
I don't know if you do.
It's kind of a basic thing, but
Like, you would know that there are machines for, like you would definitely know, like, mechanical abacuses and the like, because you used to be an architect.
Mhm.
like at an educated guess, yeah, you could guess, but it was some. Yeah, I don't think you would necessarily know how it functions. You know that it had some kind of spirit that could communicate inside it. It was made out of mortal machines, so it's some like yeah, you could guess that it was a machine made for calculating something. Yeah, with all the input and output stuff. Yeah, you could make that leap, I would say.
Yeah, with an with a guess, I could say that it will likely has the power to count something. I'm not sure what, just it can do it, and I need a specialist to figure out the exact nature of the machine. But other than that, I know that it has Weaver spirits, the third part of the of the gods of the werewolves.
Listen, William, none of that is important right now. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if we can hold this without losing people, and if so, for how long, and how we're gonna blow it up when the werewolves try to get it back. If you
Well,
can
Michelle
figure
did
out,
mention that.
if you can figure out how to move it safely, we might consider moving it to Elysium. As far as letting your clan simply claim it and take it for your own use, even if it just monitors conversations over phone lines, I'll be honest with you, that isn't likely to happen. I'm sure your clan would be happy to pay a great deal for something like that, but I'm not sure the other cities worldwide would be very happy with me just handing over something like this, especially if it can be replicated to your clan, since it would potentially affect the balance of power in the entire Camarilla.
I understand.
So while I might be willing to let you study it, while I might be willing to move it to Elysium, I don't think you're taking it to the Chantry.
It wouldn't be safe in my chantry either way. It would have to be moved to out of town.
All
Out
the
of
more so.
Just. I really don't think it's safe to keep it in the city at all. If it can be moved.
Michelle suggested that while this is interesting, we take every set of notes we can for a night or two. And by notes I mean study it as thoroughly as we can, write down where everything is located, etc., and then we simply blow it up. We don't even try.
That would be the simplest option, yes. It's right now its value is incomprehensible. Strategically and
Yes, for the other side that doesn't use things like phone lines to communicate.
I'll see if I can get someone a specialist over in that amount of time to take a look. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best.
Certainly. Ask around. See if there's someone.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, Dracula, the answer to the question, what would it take for you to claim this, is a kidney and all your limbs.
So a twins is something you can do.
Okay. While this is happening, who should we go with next? Bacon, are you doing something specific now that the prince is available, or are you still waiting for more info on that?
Yeah, I just want Jerome to go back to so he actually can know. Apparently, trying to talk it out with people doesn't work. Doesn't know why, so he goes back to the old method of just listening.
Okay. So, Gerald is actually gonna take you once things chill a bit and lead you down to one of the other floors.
Sure.
So, I'm sure you're curious.
Oh, of course.
Leads you to one side of the third floor. You've never been here.
In Elysium? No, I've...
Yeah. As in, you've never been on this part of the third floor in Elysium. You've never even seen anyone go in this direction. She tries the handle. Locked. Can you get through this? Without breaking the door, I mean.
So like lockpicking?
I mean, only if you can close it afterwards.
I mean, yeah, I can try.
Benjamin is busy tonight. He's been on the phone on top the whole night. And I really want to know what's in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see why you would be curious about that.
It has... Wait. You can shift in... I've never used that, but I've heard from like the other gangrel that some of you can turn into like mist or vapor or whatever.
Oh yeah, you could say that's my specialty.
Could you like go in there and like open a window and just throw me down something so I can climb up?
Yeah, we could do that.
The heist begins. So, do you wish to do that?
Yes.
Okay, let me roll to see how full of blood Walda is. Oh, she's ready to go. Okay, so you misthorn and pass through the door.
Yep, let me quickly retract that point.
I think you just need one to initiate.
It's only one unless I want to shift in like a single turn, then it's 3.
Okay, drift through the door. On the other side, it's strange. At first it's just the usual carpet, but then the carpet turns green and the walls turn green and... Wait, is that moss growing down at the other end?
Oh, how curious.
You can roll intelligence occult at a 7 due to your personal history. You know, you can't be sure, but this looks vaguely reminiscent of some changeling shit.
Huh, that's interesting.
Walda, meanwhile, is down waiting for window to open, just...
Yeah, I'll find a window.
Game. Find a window, open it. See Walda down below.
I give it a thumbs up and like...
I hope I don't need to mention that this is theoretically the violation of at least one tradition, probably more.
Curiosity is a virtue, and luck is with the risk takers. So
what do you... Give me like a witchcraft to tie together some curtains or something to throw down to her.
is it just wits?
Then it's at 7.
Yep, I'm aware.
This is the 3rd floor, so there's a little bit of climbing to be done. Okay. So Alda starts using the curtain to climb up the sheer wall. She's buffed her dexterity, of course, to as far as it will go. She climbs in through the window. Oh, this is so fucking cool. Oh, he hid a personal garden in here. The bastard.
I believe it's related to the Fae.
Alda just focuses, looks past you. Oh, I think I see something. Excuse me, let me pass. Oh, I need to just follow along. So, Pamela has been a bad girl. She keeps cold iron on her, which is apparently bad to changelings, but she's also been like trying to catch visitors to the city and dominate them and just get them to recount their memories and their knowledge, and eventually even mind wipes are gonna, not take on supernaturals. And oh, it's here, isn't it? She's standing like on a wall, which is actually covered in green vines. I can see the crack, but how does it open? Let me in!
Careful. You wouldn't want anyone to come here.
No. What's the password? No, you're gonna let me in. So, apparently they've gotten pissed, and they like, confronted her, and she made a promise, and then when she stayed, like, they gave her like a week, and she stayed, and then she broke the promise, and then she just blasted her at a distance with magic for breaking it. Didn't know they could do that. Very scary. But apparently she's now on the shit list, and the prince is gonna protect her. So, she's probably staying in Elysium or something, so it's all gonna get very, very fucky. Let me in!
Yeah, it's going to complicate the diplomacy quite a bit.
She just grabs at like a place in the wall where you can't see anything. Just tips of the fingernails catching purchase, and she tries to pull. Let me in! Yeah, you actually see the fingertips somehow sink and phase through the wall for a moment. So one more attempt. She gets thrown backward and falls on her ass in the moss. Damn it!
I tip my spear against the wall just to see if it's actually a normal wall.
It sounds like stone, not brick or wood.
Huh, interesting.
I think Benjamin knows how this opens.
It seems likely to me, considering the context of this room.
The naughty boy, he never fucking told me! Well, isn't this intriguing?
Yeah, it's quite the mystery.
Okay, I think we should go before we get caught. So, I'm gonna go jump out the window. You, like, hang the curtains back or something and, get out the way you got in. I'll meet you at the door.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay. Give me a wit stealth to cover the signs of your passage.
Sure. My wit specialty is cunning. Would it apply?
I think so, in considering what you're doing with the crazy Malkavian Primogen. Yeah, probably.
Spending a wonderful power. So 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you hang the curtain, brush it out. It's probably not going to be noticeable. It's moss growing everywhere. It's probably fine. And let's see how well Walda climbs down. Okay, Walda climbs down fine. It's just this light in her eyes when she meets you at the other side of the door. You're bonded in crime now, Nyaxi. It's too late to turn back.
And it's pretty in character for my guy, so.
Bacon, give me a perception alertness at 6 to see how much you can overhear. Okay. Yeah. People keep talking. This is not really something that can be kept in because ghouls and people and just too many know. There has been a werewolf machine discovered that apparently was able to tap into the city infrastructure. Your domain, incidentally. And manipulate it somehow. And apparently there was like phone conversations it was printing out while people were there between known kindred.
Oh, that's nice. Would make my work a lot easier. And good thing that I don't have a phone.
Yeah. So a lot of people are really worried about this. There's whispers about there was like a map. Do you think it could be Havens? I think it's Havens. I think they know where we sleep.
Just, is the prince available?
He's eventually William's gonna leave, and yeah, you can go in and talk with the prince.
Yeah, I just go in.
Hello, say.
Hello, my prince. I was thinking around and I heard that it was found some werewolf machine that was tapping into city infrastructure.
I'm not here to confirm rumors you might have heard Aloha say. Do you have something specific to discuss?
Yeah, I just wanted to know. I'm kind of study a bit about machines like this, computer and stuff. If you guys need any help to deciphering what exactly it does.
He pulls out like a ripped piece of paper, hands it to you. It's written, it's like note from a notebook, and written out are the messages. Like, request password from current administrator, things like that. And does any of this make sense to you?
Do I need to roll intelligence?
No,
Computer?
you would be familiar with the basic terminology. Like, if you wanted
yeah,
to understand a piece of code, then you would have to roll.
Yeah, looks like the machine has has a blocked user system. So to access it, you need to get the right information for it. So you need to type the name of the administrator and a secret code.
Okay. Okay. Feel like going over there and fucking around with it?
Oh, sure, I can go take a look.
Let me know if you notice the Tremere trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, it would be scary if they managed to have one of these for them.
Yes, oh, let's say close the door for a second.
Yeah, just go up, close the door.
So here's what I think. You would love to have this. The Malkavians would probably love to have this. The Tremere already want to have this. So, I have to have William working on this. I expect that he's going to be watching anyone else that's working on this very closely. So, since this would interest you, why don't you go over there and be part of the project and let me know if the other side tries to fuck it? Because the way I'm going to do this is going to come to Elysium and we're going to use it against the werewolves.
Should I try to secretly rig some sort of self-destruct option in case?
No. No, but work with... No. Actually, no. Don't bother with the self-destruct. I have someone else on that. Someone who doesn't want to claim this for themselves.
Okay.
Someone he trusts more than you.
Definitely more than you, Jackalor.
Well, I will confront them for it's self-destructing because it's better that no clan has it than the Tremere having it.
You know, just so you understand how careful you need to be. William was there apparently half an hour before the sheriff even arrived. Somehow. He then passed through Elysium with books he had already taken of the machinery or the instructions or calculations that run this thing that he carried off to the chantry. It was just some technical stuff and it's probably like a list of book titles that you claimed.
Yeah, I definitely would have given that to the.
And it's essentially it's kind of like database stuff for sorting through information, languages that can be used for that, and applying those languages to that. You've probably seen one or two of those books before. Haven't necessarily read through them since they were a bit more advanced than you went into this, but you know they're a thing.
Yeah, that's some pretty advanced stuff. Like, I know this book. I never got to actually reading it, but I think that if we give him enough time in these books, he may actually just get some pretty advanced knowledge on how to operate it.
Yeah, no, Odyssey, you don't understand. I want you both working on it. That way, neither of you can fuck everyone over.
Out of character. Flashback to the last time we worked together.
The city is just now recovering.
This time we have different. I have a different character, and his character is trying to change spirits. But yeah, I will go talk with him. Offer my support to teaching him and working with him to decode the
Honestly,
machine then.
the sheriff is going to be coordinating this. Just start by going over there and seeing how much you can make out of what's already there and what she's noted down. Just take an actual look at the thing, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Okay. So you're gonna head out there, and you're gonna be there when the sheriff's ghoul informs them that the missing Tremere ghoul has stumbled back to this place, apparently having been badly beaten and temporarily captured by the werewolves, who wiped his memory.
Before that, is the regent still on the Elysium?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
I mean, with his limited knowledge of politics, he realized that he was snobbing on him for having knowledge. It's my turn to snob on him for having knowledge. I just go for him. Regent, I just spoke with the prince, and he told me that you acquired several books about computers to learn about the machine which was discovered.
Mm-hmm.
If you need any help with it, it's a field that know a several decent amount of it. So I believe that we are going to work together to decipher.
You won that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to compile a program he has written. Compared to you, he's an expert. Like, if the way I'm going with this, since computers are so new, it's kind of a specialized skill. So with one dot, that's enough to, at the very least, write simple programs, compile and run them. So he knows the basics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I didn't think you were the sort to learn such things. It's quite the rare skill indeed.
Yeah. Then technology and science in general are one of my favorite things.
Oh, I have some skill in science as well, though my expertise is in architecture.
Oh, yeah, I have something similar. I study a lot of physics.
Okay.
I'm going to take a look at the machine.
Well, I'll try and manage to get an expert from within the clan. If that doesn't work out, I'll try and do it myself with what I have available to me.
So I want
Yeah,
both of you to make a contested manipulation etiquette roll to dab on each other in Elysium.
I'm spending a willpower point because I don't have
Difficulty?
etiquette.
Base of 6, right? This is contested.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
have
7 for me. Oh fuck, he's going to win.
You know that
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to have this kind of expertise that just you see one third or just go oof.
Well fought. Well fought.
I'm a social Tremere, to some extent.
I bet I have even
Wait,
more science than
that's
you.
what you're good at?
And so into cult, but mostly in support of my social stuff.
Yeah, I'm just mostly commenting on your performance so far.
But yeah, he won the dabbing contest.
Okay. So you head on over to the machine.
Yep.
You can give me like a this would be perception computers to try and figure out how this fits together.
I want to spend a willpower. Fuck it.
So you are spending?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's not enough to get a in-depth understanding of how this might be doing, but you're pretty sure that some of the ways the computers are hooked together and the models used as well are not really meant for networking. It's like they've somehow spliced together the output ports on both ends, and they must be using some either fuckery or the insides of the machines have been rearranged to allow them to connect like that. It's not how you would do this, and you wouldn't do it with machines like this in the first place. They're not meant to network like that.
Oh, so it's tech heresy.
Yeah. It's tech innovation.
I shall cleanse it with my holy oil.
Bacon, when you start sticking spirits inside machines by hand, that's usually dark mechanicum.
Yes, you're putting demons in the machines. Very good.
Why use AI when there's a perfectly good demon right there?
That's absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I have to purify this machine.
Do you say
Is
that?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Is the sheriff here?
Yeah, she is.
I just go for her. Hi. The prince sent me here to look at the computer.
Yeah, he called ahead.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Different.
give me a willpower roll, by the way, at 7 to see how well you forced your way through the wards.
Permanent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. There's, 3d10 bashing, but you can probably soak that. Yeah, no, you're fine. There's definitely a bunch of sparks as you are first walking in, but didn't really bother you that much.
This the way that they arrange it. They either remade their machines and completely reworked inside of them, or they built some weird werewolf magic on it.
There's it wouldn't be common. Well, if you had heightened senses, you would be able to see that the place is filled with magic. It's most definitely infused with power. In fact, I think you can see a faint glow even without such senses, especially when it tries to force you out.
So, I would probably activate it. The heightened senses.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you definitely see that there's magic quite, well, pretty openly being in use here.
Yeah, if using this machine regularly, they be arranged this way, they weren't made to work this way, so they are improvising a lot with what they had and magic above it, but I think that working together with the regent, we can probably solve it out. Dear viewers, we are now talking with Tammy.
Yep, we are.
He's pinging. There's a lot of pings.
I mean, Harald didn't know what that room was, that's the thing. And Walt's like, well, I mean, he probably has something to do with the changelings, but what? Why is it still locked? Okay, so let's say here's the thing. So from what I understand, and from what everyone is saying, it seems like this place is set up in a really unique way, right? Hooked into the rest of the city, and the arrangement is something that's completely unique to this location. I'm not sure if we can move these without breaking it anyway.
Yeah, they are sensible machines, and I don't know how the magic part works, but moving may probably damage it.
Bacon, roll me a perception awareness at 9, please.
At 9?
At 9. There's a unique combination of factors at play here. They're just faintly at the edge of your hearing, just like this modem hiss, and you can almost make out words that are being chanted like computer commands.
Wait a second. Do you hear it? I think you're adept with Auspex, right?
Yes, it's a Tremere clan skill.
Do you like have this feeling that around this room, like something is working?
Well, yes, I can see the magic running through the cables there, and through that machine.
Like, I think we may have a problem. Like, what I heard and just felt, it's like commands were being operated. Maybe they don't need to be here to access the machine, or maybe are just the machine magic trying to work. He just goes to see if
hear
there's
a
any.
background hum of power, but I didn't hear any chanting. And I've been listening for the past 3 hours.
Yeah, he just goes to see if there's any change in the machine, if there any printed out, anything showed on the consoles?
Not at the moment. Actually, to be fair, that's a luck that should be rolled by you, so roll me a straight luck. Not at the moment.
Maybe some just basic software routines that are running. Yeah.
She is... Okay. Let's test this. She goes downstairs, picks back up. Keep listening. I'm gonna make a few calls, okay? At first, nothing happens. 5 minutes pass. Make me another perception awareness roll at 8.
I think. Yeah, I will spend a real power on this. This is very important. It's focusing really hard on it.
Okay,
Oh,
Nice.
so you just so one of the printers comes alive and you hear in the background. What was her name? Michelle what? Michelle Moran. Okay, so the chanting goes, keyword detected, Michelle Moran, tracking, adding new number to list, tracking, starts printing. Yes, I would like a large pizza delivered to this address.
Family size?
And essentially, in the background, you hear the chanting as the system, or the spirits inside the system, log what they are doing, even as the printer is printing out the, well, last 2/3 of the conversation from the point of which they detected that it was one of their targets talking.
okay.
And then she makes another list to a 24-hour laundromat. This one is tracked. She doesn't mention her name. But this is tracked because at this point, tracked number activated, tracking call, positioning, logging conversation, etc. You get the idea.
Okay, yeah.
From the other room, you faintly hear just the robotic arm going as it's trying to pinpoint where it's coming from.
Okay. Yeah, I just wait her to come back.
She makes several more calls, and at the end, she calls the prince. And this one, the voice actually raised 2 tracked numbers conversing, raising priority. This one actually comes out marked. Unconfirmed track number and confirmed track number. And yeah, it gives you an idea of what this thing does. And all the while you're listening to the spirits sing inside the computers.
I mean, glory to the Messiah.
Glory to the Messiah.
Just wait her to come back.
She comes back. So, learn anything?
Yep. On your first call, I managed to detect, it's the spirits working. When you said your name, they detected it.
Oh, I didn't
They marked.
mention my name in the first one.
She didn't?
The one where she was calling for pizza, she did, but she must have made another call before then.
Okay, so yeah, the one when you called for
Okay, so the second
after you
one.
saying
Okay.
after saying your name, they detected it. They marked this location as your new phone number and kept track of it, and it calls from here. After that, it were marked that it was working. I could hear the spirits, I guess, just chanting and logging stuff and marking everything that it was said. And when you called the prince, they raised it as a high priority. So they focus on the conversation between number, one marked number, and something else.
She looks at the logs. Yeah, I think this is actually word for word as well. Shit. Okay, let's, she just motions for you to follow and goes and looks at the map. The neighborhood that you are in has been circled. There's just like lines leading in and intersecting, and then there's just circle. First it's a big circle, then there's a second smaller circle, and the last circle includes almost the whole circle is just this building. There's a little bit of the yard left. So she made maybe total of 7 or 8 calls that were tracked, right? And that was apparently enough to pinpoint the building. So any place that you call from often, they know about, you can assume.
Okay. Okay, so we can only call once from each place. Keep moving. If we only had mobile phone, it would make stuff so much easier.
Listen, I like my fiction as much as apparently you do, but we don't have those. Probably never will, the rate the world is going.
I mean, probably the werewolves can do something. The spirits, like they talk between themselves using spirits, right?
Well, it can be done with magic, yes, I know. You need
So,
something to, some kind of connection to ride usually. I guess if you had 2 paired items, you could do it that way. Or a connection of blood sometimes works.
yeah. Well, I think this is something that the Tremere should develop. It's more on your clan expertise than I guess.
If I could arrange for you to have magical radios with a decent distance, what would that be worth to you?
Mm-hmm.
Just hypothetically, if I asked around.
Oh, actually, not much for my clan because we have already the capability of using animals to communicate between ourselves. But yeah, it could work. We brought something. Depends on how good they are.
Well, it's probably not worth the effort then. But, yeah, this is like something out of a sci-fi movie. Just like this kind of tracking. Jesus fuck, I don't think the military has stuff like this.
Actually, the weird mages that kidnapped me,
Yeah?
they might have something like this. Maybe the werewolves burned with them. That would be boring.
I actually need to roll her intelligence occult to see if she knows about this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, no, she doesn't have that much. She only has 2, so it's like a 9+1 for her to know. That would be deeply disturbing and seems very plausible to me. We should look into that.
Yeah. I mean, we could politely ask them, right?
Right. Well, I'll let you know if I think of a way to get that info. So, in case you can't realize it yet, Bacon, you could actually hear the stuff going on there, because you can speak the language of those spirits a little bit. Others can't, which is why they can't hear this stuff. Not the same way you
Yes.
can.
I understand the chant of the tech priests.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a quick break here? If anyone needs to step away or grab anything to eat, now would be the time, and we will be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.